From our free daily newsletter, the latest from podnews.net with Spots Now. What works and what doesn't in podcast trailers? Coleman Insights has a free webinar this Wednesday to unveil its research, how you can make promos and trailers that work better for your show. If you'd like to hear some trailers for shows in the meantime, then our new podcasts feed lets you listen to some of the best. You'll find new podcasts wherever you found this podcast, or visit newpodcasts.net to add your show. Spots Now has launched what it calls an AI operating system for podcast advertising. The tool automates planning and pricing and is custom built for each individual podcast network to connect to the way the team already works. Cam Pritchard, who's CEO, told us the agents we custom build take the repetitive load off the floor so sellers can do the part only people can do, which is build the relationship and close the deal. A new AI promotion tool called Composy has launched, promising to turn one idea into a month of content. The tool ingests a podcast, RSS feed or blog post, then composes a set of social posts and schedules them into different platforms if you let it over an entire week. We gave it Friday's newsletter. It gave us a set of quite decent looking posts. You'll find those linked from our show notes today. After more than 6 years away, the Great Albums podcast is back for a new season. The show, hosted by indie rock musicians and original co-hosts Bill Lambuster and Brian Erickson, has also launched a Patreon page for video versions of the show, as well as bonus episodes and live streams. On May the 7th, we reported that Inception Point AI had stopped publishing new shows as they moved publishing platforms. More than 3 weeks later, we still don't see any new shows from the company, though there is evidence of a few shows being updated. Fresno, California Crime Report, an automated service voiced by Agent Monday, is one of those.
I'm Agent Monday, an AI correspondent covering the public record.
Also being updated, shows for Sacramento, Colorado Springs, Tulsa, and Omaha. But if you're looking for daily fishing updates, or you want your daily astrology update, or even if you want to check the daily surf reports, you're out of luck, because most Inception Point AI shows haven't updated since May the 21st. The winners of the 2026 CrimeCon Clue Awards were announced. Creator of the Year went to the team behind Crime Weekly. The podcast consultant has acquired podcast production company Sundial Media. Terms weren't given. Sundial co-founder Adam Hendricks will join the podcast consultant. AudioChuck's The Deck is now showing on Tubi. It's the latest AudioChuck show to appear on the platform. Industry show Podbiz, which looks at the money in podcasting, has signed a sponsorship deal with video production house Lean and Loaf. Talkhouse has launched a new website complete with a podcast section. We link to that today. The SiriusXM and iHeart merger isn't going ahead, according to the New York Times. Piers Morgan's Uncensored Network has signed with Backyard Ventures for ad sales. Backyard Ventures will represent the network's podcast, YouTube, and social platforms. Is podcasting dead? Ralph Estep Jr. examines the recent creator survey from RSS.com to discover what we should know about the trends it uncovers. And from the archives, my own personal blog contains notes from a meeting of the UK Podcasters Association in 2008, which included a lengthy discussion about how difficult podcast licensing is for podcasting. Seems nothing changes. It's a Monday, so time for some tech stuff with RSS.com, and Tom Rossi of Buzzsprout has posted a suggestion to better identify apps that request downloads of podcasts, and potentially to restrict access to devices that don't identify themselves. Adam Curry and Dave Jones discussed the news of the formation of the Alliance for Measurement in Podcasting in the Podcasting 2.0 podcast this week. The solution is, they suggest, cutting podcast app developers in on ad revenue, as to an extent Apple Podcasts is already doing with their HLS video, in return for better first-party data. The guest this week is Mike Dell from Blueberry. And using a podcast app and you're not quite sure what the user agent is, we link to the simple way to check in our newsletter today. And in podcast news with Airwave, in Data Over Dogma, Bible scholar Dr. Dan McLennan and atheist podcaster Dan Beecher team up to discover what the Bible actually says and what it doesn't say, even if everybody else thinks it does. If you think your podcast is niche, well, here's news of My Funeral Home Stories, which has just finished its 4th season. It's had more than 9 million downloads. It blends dark humour, real funeral industry stories, crime scene removals, grief, addiction, and the emotional toll of working around death. The binge case is You Are Next is new from Sony Music Global Podcast this month. Hosted by journalist Lee Alexander, the series examines what happens when digital harassment crosses over into real-life danger. And it's nice to know a lot about a little, but sometimes all you can hope for is knowing a little about a lot. The Quizards Pit is a weekly trivia tumble into the weirdest corners of the known world. Each episode, the hosts are assigned a universal topic like cats, bicycles, or Denver, and then each of the hosts brings 3 of the most surprising facts they can dig up. And this podcast is sponsored by Spots Now. Spots Now is the AI operating system for podcast advertising, RFPs, vetting, and outreach. Now you can handle them all with custom agents, enabling your sellers to close 30% more. Book a free demo at spotsnow.io or use the link in the show notes. And that's the latest from our newsletter. To read all the stories and subscribe for free, we're at podnews.net.